Okay, so apparently now it takes me a day for that sort of jet lag to hit me. And by jet lag, I mean, you know, the 1 hour time difference of springing forward. But yeah, I am a little late. I mean, it's still pitch. I love that it's still sort of pitch black out and it's almost 7 o'clock in the morning again. That was great before. Man, I mean, don't get me wrong, the sunrise is obviously going to come. That's not me trying to sound optimistic either. It's literally going to come. Just give it like another like half an hour and yeah, it's gonna be here. But at the same time, I miss it like being early, I miss that so much. But yeah, today is Monday, which as we all know is a real drag. We all know this. But honestly, this is a pretty quiet weekend, all things considered. Like, not just for stuff I did either. Oh, sorry. Before I begin, I always try to do Happy Monday. Yes, I do. Okay, so, again, this weekend was pretty low key, pretty, quiet. Which, makes sense. I mean, I think it's really more due to the fact that, it is just starting to get a little bit more warm, but we're not quite used to it yet. Spring is happening. Actually, I do believe spring is actually it's next Wednesday, not today. I wish it was today, because then I would have gone to Rita's to get myself some free Italian ice, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that the vast majority of society is slowly and anxiously preparing for St. Patrick's Day, which is this upcoming weekend. I mean, last year I was actually a little more worried about society as a whole because St. Patrick's Day is on a Saturday, and St. Patrick's Day is notorious for partaking in a certain activity that, for the most part, you should partake in responsibly. And the fact it's on Saturday night means that there's no having to worry about doing anything the next day, because it would be a Sunday, and therefore you wouldn't have to worry about doing much. But this year, St. Patrick's Day is on a Sunday, which means, it'll be a great opportunity to, stay inside and, relax. Or, partake in that slightly irresponsible thing to do, throughout the course of the day. Oh, sorry. I have no idea how that happened. Sorry. I still have my old phone on me just because of there are a few things I need to transfer on from my old phone to this one. And in fact, one thing I definitely, because I really have no idea how to transfer things to new phones. I don't. But one thing that I do have, and I actually still have these photos from, I think it was January of 2013. Hold on, I'm trying to let me get. I'm multitasking, two phones at once. Sorry. Right. I actually have two photos of my old cat. Yep. That's my old cat. Yep. This is probably the closest thing to a cat video I think I've ever really done. Here's a better shot of her. Yep. This was literally taken the day I had to go back to college for spring semester senior year. So this was literally nearing the end. And I mean, obviously I no longer have her. It was actually really funny. You see, around the time I first got my cat, this was actually around the time when like they were showing a lot of reruns of the old Alvin and the Chipmunks cartoon, and there's this one, you know, cartoon where where Alvin, Simon, and Theodore find a stray dog. It ends up being a really important, fancy dog with a collar, and the collar said "Pretty," and the dog's name was Pretty, so that's what I ended up calling my cat, Pretty. It was actually literally the day we found her, though. It was like the first really nice day of that year. Like, I believe I was 9. Yeah, I was 9. It was like sunny, not a cloud in the sky. It was warm, and she was just sitting there like on my family's back porch. My mom discovered her, and she needed a. So we talked it over, and we adopted her. She actually ended up passing away. Oh, what ended up happening to Pretty was, some animals, when they get old, they'll sort of seize up, have like seizures every now and again. It actually got to the point where she became slightly feral, so sadly we had to put her down. It was sad, but I'm always going to be grateful that I had a pet to call my own. I did. Maybe someday, years down the line, if I want a pet, or if I meet the right woman and she wants to have an animal or a pet to call her own, maybe I'll partake in that, and that would be awesome. But honestly, if I go the rest of my life without having another pet in my life, I'm okay with it. I had that experience, and nothing's ever going to take that away from me, so I'm good. That actually got kind of somber. Sorry. So yeah, there's that. By the way, for whatever reason, like my phone was playing the Chain by Fleetwood Mac. Well, obviously you just heard it's the Chain by Fleetwood Mac from actually not a Fleetwood Mac CD, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 CD. Yeah, I actually downloaded that onto my iPod, and by extension, it's probably on the phone I'm using to do this video right now. It actually has been a while since I heard that song because I actually used to listen to that song a little bit when I was working out. To be perfectly honest, I listen to so many songs when it comes to working out. I, for the life of me, cannot, pick one. I mean, even if I were to do like 13, even when I do a 13-mile run, there's lots of songs I end up not listening to just because there's that many. And plus, quite a few of them are Dragon Force songs, and if any of you guys are fans of Dragon Force, then you know that their songs are not really on the short side. And Dragon Force, that was actually, that's a band that I'm always going to remember. It was weird. I didn't really start liking Dragon Force until I was like around in college, so I was like really, really, really late to the game. Sorry, I have an itch on my arm. Anyway, so because around the time Dragon Force really became popular was when Guitar Hero was popular, and so everyone was playing the song Through the Fire and Flames on like Expert or whatever. Like they were doing that at Horseheads actually. Like seriously, there'd be like days in like the choir room where Guitar Hero was set up, and you have a bunch of band people and music people like playing it. Honestly, Guitar Hero never really interested me, so unfortunately the song itself didn't interest me. So it wasn't until college I finally listened to the song Through the Fire and Flames, and what can I say? I really like Dragon Force now, and I do have to give credit where credit is due. Through the Fire and Flames really is the best Dragon Force song. It's not my favorite Dragon Force song, but I will say it is the best. Funny enough, my favorite Dragon Force song is actually the song that everyone considers to be the second best, which is Fury of the Storm. I'm not even going to bother putting links in the description because you're going to find all sorts of videos about all Dragon Force songs all over the place on YouTube. So, yeah. Through the Fire and Flames and Fury of the Storm. I've also, over the years, I would listen to more and more Dragon Force songs just because, I'm running. It's a relatively long run. I have the time. Why not? So, yeah, that's ultimately what I ended up doing. Now, whenever I do something like the Tour de Cuca, I actually literally do one half all of the music and the other half Dragon Force songs because there's so many Dragon Force songs and they're in such great length that, again, I'm still not able to listen to everything. So, yeah, there's that. And before I forget, let me talk about yesterday's games. So, actually, hold on. I know that one team I wanted to win lost yesterday. It was right. I wanted Memphis to win, but Atlanta ended up scoring the victory at the very end, which, okay. Oh, I don't mind being proven wrong. But I gotta say, Arizona really decided to come back last night because I pretty much checked out when it was 28-0 in last night's game. But, Arizona ended up scoring 25, but the final score was 29-25. So, yeah, way to go, San Antonio. I think San Antonio may be the team to beat in that division now. I need to look it up again. Actually, maybe San Diego is the team to beat in that division. I don't know. They're both really good teams. It should be fun. Again, we have the rest of we have all of March for the remainder of the season, I think. Yeah, we do. I'm looking at the calendar right now. And then we have then it goes all the way up to mid-April, and then the championship game will be the 27th, so right around the time the NFL Top 100 begins. So, what can I tell you? Days are flying by. Spring really is on the horizon. I can't wait. It's going to be really weird, too, because last year when Easter was on April 1st, it was the last I was no longer wearing this tie. Now, it's going to completely throw everybody off when I start, when we get to April, I'm no longer wearing this tie, but I'm still talking about Lent-related stuff. Well, not really stuff, just occasionally what happens on any particular given day that I decide to, talk about. So, yeah, don't really have much else to do. It actually is starting to get warm. We're actually sort of in a heat wave right now. I think it was 38 this morning when I went out. And tomorrow it's going to be up to 50. Which, that sounds pretty cool. I could use 50-degree weather right about now. It's going to stink if it gets cold again. But it hasn't yet, so on that regard, I'm good. And I'm going to be watching more auditions from The Voice tonight. That's going to be really fun. And yeah, that's about all I have to say right now. So favorite, share, and the subscribe button. I could really use support on YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. And as always, I'm very humble I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hoping that we all have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And remember, if you guys don't want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices.